Hello and welcome to tonight's Soothing Stories and Stretches. We're going to start off as usual with doing 2 yoga poses and then a little bit more deep breathing before we do our story. But our story is going to be a little bit different tonight because I'm going to be reading some poems instead. So our first yoga pose of the night is Downward Facing Dog. Lay down on your belly with your hands by your chest, then lift your bum up into the air. Make an upside down V shape with your body while breathing deep. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. And our second pose is cat pose. Get down onto all fours, then round and arch your back to look like a cat. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now let's do some deep breathing before we move into our poems for tonight. Remember, sit up nice and tall. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Tonight is going to be a little bit different because rather than me telling a story, I'm going to be telling a few poems that have to do with Remembrance Day, which is celebrated on November 11th. The library will be closed that day, and typically there are Remembrance Day services, and there are 2 minutes of silence at 11 a.m. First, I'm going to read In Flanders Fields, which was written by John McCrae, a Canadian soldier in 1915 during the First World War. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow. Between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks, still bravely singing, fly. scarce heard amidst the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders field. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with those who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. The second poem I am going to read was written by Dawn Crawford in the 1960s. Please wear a poppy, the lady said, and held one forth, but I shook my head. Then I stopped and watched her as she offered them there, and her face was old and lined with care. But beneath the scars the years had made, there remained a smile that refused to fade. A boy came whistling down the street, bouncing along on carefree feet. His smile was full of joy and fun. "Lady," said he, "may I have one?" When she pinned it on, he turned to say, "Why do we wear a poppy today?" The lady smiled in her wistful way and answered, "This is Remembrance Day, and the poppy there is a symbol for the gallant ones who died in war. And because they did, you and I are free. That's why we wear the poppy, you see." I had a boy about your size, with golden hair and big blue eyes. He loved to play and jump and shout. Free as a bird, he would race about. As the years went by, he learned and he grew, and became a man, as you will too. But the war went on, and he had to stay, and all I could do was wait and pray. His letters told of the dreadful plight. I can still see it in my dreams at night, with the tanks and guns and cruel barbed wire, and the mines and bullets, the bombs and fire, till at last the war was won. And that's why we wear a poppy, son. The small boy turned as if to go, then said, "Thanks, lady, I'm glad to know. That sure did sound like an awful fight. But your son, did he come back all right?" A tear rolled down each faded cheek. She shook her head, but didn't speak. I slunk away in a sort of shame, and if you were me, you would have done the same. For our thanks in giving is oft delayed, though our freedom was bought and thousands paid. And so when we see a poppy worn, let us reflect on the burden borne by those who gave their very all when asked to answer their country's call, that we at home in peace might live. Then wear a poppy, remember, and give. And I have 2 more poems, but they're much shorter. I can't actually find an author credit for either of them, but these are very kid-friendly. The third poem I'm going to read is called Poppy Poppy. Poppy Poppy, what do you say? Wear me on Remembrance Day. Poppy Poppy, what do you tell? Many soldiers in battle fell. Poppy, Poppy, what should we know? That peace on earth should grow, grow, grow. And the last poem that I'm going to read tonight is called Children. We are but children small. We are too little to do it all. But children, you may do your part. Love each other is how you start. Play without fighting. Share your games and toys. Be kind and thoughtful to all girls and boys. I know that this video is going to be a little bit shorter, and it is different than what I usually do. Let me know if you would like me reading poems. Let's do one more yoga pose and one more round of deep breathing before we say goodnight. So I know Remembrance Day can be a pretty heavy topic. I know that when I was little, I didn't fully understand it, so I hope you guys enjoyed the poems anyway. Let's do one more yoga pose before bed. Ready? Child pose. Get down onto all fours, then rest your bum on your heels with your chest on the floor and your arms stretched out in front while breathing deep. Alright, and again, I spread my legs a little bit so that it is easier for me to get my chest onto the floor. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And namaste. I hope everybody has a good rest of their evening and you guys have a good sleep. This week is going to be a little bit heavy on remembrance and veterans programming because November 5th to 11th is Veterans Week. Have a good night. Bye.